United States, and I'm gonna be giving y'all all tools you absolutely need to live abroad. And I'm coming from the standpoint of being in Thailand 2 whole months and getting down to what's really good and what's really hood in the Thailand streets. So hey, what's up, family? Welcome back to another episode of Juice, the Squeeze podcast. And right here, this is the spot where we help you to become the best version of yourself, get to the life that you want, and spotlight all the people and positive business that are doing it right. I'm your host, Juice, and if you're traveling to Thailand in 2025, you're not going to want to miss this because there's a lot of curveballs out there. Today, I'm going to be breaking down 8 scams and safety tips that you absolutely need so that you can have a safe travel and keep your wallet happy. So before we dive in, if you haven't already, smash that like button for me and hit the subscribe if you haven't already. All right, guys. So never miss a beat and learn how to travel for free in my last video. We'll talk about that later. But let's squeeze the best juice out of these scams and get prepped for your epic trip. All right, so first up is the taxi excursion scams. So just think about it like this. You outside, probably looking for a taxi. You're wandering around the buzzing streets of Bangkok when you're approached by a taxi driver, and they're going to be holding up like one of these posters saying that they got amazing tours for low prices for the day. But you got to particularly watch out because you're thinking maybe, wow, this is probably a good deal. I'm going to kick into you guys like this, but here's the kicker. The rides itself might seem cheap, but once you hit the attraction, that's how they get you. They skyrocket the entry fees. So what you could have been a bargain rather quickly turns into a costly trip. So for example, if you're going to the floating market, there's certain entrances that are like scam entrances where they're going to try to hit you in the head for multiple different amounts. So it could be like a $300 baht ride, right? Where you get into the entrance where they don't got you into the shady part, where now it's 1,000 baht to get into the floated market, where you're probably going to have to get a boat and go about your travel that way. So the total bill goes way up above what you bargained for. And I've seen it happen, and I've heard a lot of horror stories. It never happened to me, but it's like a bait and switch on wheels. So here's my advice, right? Always book your excursions through the apps, reputable agencies, or even consider using Ride app, okay? There's the Ride and the Grab app, and I'm going to be linking you in with one travel app at the end of this video, so make sure you stay tuned, where you know exactly what you're paying for, because once you get the Grab or the Ride app, man, listen, there's a set price. And even if they're going to be lollygagging and taking you the wrong way, because that's something that happened to me. I happened to get into this car with this older lady on the way back from already doing work. So it was like 3 a.m, and she took me all around Pattaya, tripping me out. But luckily, I had got that taxi with the Ride app, and it did not change anything. Only thing that was upset was me in the head because I couldn't get to sleep on time to wake up to do the events that I had planned the next day. So if you're liking this, listen, drop down a comment if you've ever been scammed, or if you're going out to Thailand soon and you want some help. Let's help each other out. And remember, a low price up front might mean fees later. So keep your eyes open, your phone ready, and document anything shady. Trust me. A little caution goes a long way. Okay? So when you're navigating the streets in a vibrant city like Bangkok, you need to keep your head on a swivel. Now, much similar to number 1, but number 2 is the tuk-tuk scam. Now, I absolutely love the tuk-tuk system. If you haven't tried it, it is a native travel system there, mainly in Bangkok, because when you get to Pattaya, you don't see any tuk-tuks. They're replaced with the motorbikes. But the tuk-tuk scam happened to me when I came back, and I was out with a lovely lady. Now, tuk-tuks are a staple of Thailand travel. They're fun, they're colorful, they're super convenient, and usually the people deck them out in different little ways. They got sound systems on them. It's literally just a kind of like a put together kind of car or motorbike, but they usually are on a lot of bars and steel. So they're made out of like rugged steel, and It's open air. It's a beautiful thing to have. But here's the deal. If a tuk-tuk driver offers you a ridiculously low price or a tour around the city, be prepared for a twist. So I was on an adventure. Now, this is where it's crazy because I came from the floating market and I was just trying to go, to a boat pickup, right? And in that, I got on a tuk-tuk with a lovely young lady who thought that it would be a nice idea to follow whatever the man was saying. But lo and behold, these deals are designed to lure you into stopping at a tailor shop or souvenir stall where you're pressured to buy overpriced suits or trinkets that you absolutely don't need. Remember, now when I say this, right, I got roped into this tuk-tuk deal that promised a quick ride, but ended up with me being forced into a mini suit shop, which was way above the value, okay? So listen, don't fall for it. If you're like me, you're going to politely decline. If you're like me, you're going to politely decline all the extras and opt out in the most straightforward way. But you know what I did do? I got me some free water up out of them. But the reason I really declined is because I didn't need any more suits, because if you know, Lucky Taylor down in Pattaya is the absolute best. He treats you with absolute care, and that's just a humble brag because I'm going to be putting out a video about him very, very soon. But the prices are absolutely amazing. He does not leave you without a suit that you are absolutely outstandingly, resoundingly happy with, okay? So if you have ever experienced this, guys, I want you to drop down and share your story below. Let's spread the word so that everyone can ride safely and shop wisely. And we want to stop the scams because even my boy Lucky, he had another YouTuber go out and help him to shut down a scam right there in front of his shop that they were opening up daily. So without further ado, number 3, guys. Now, this one is going to sound funny, but it's the herbal shop scam. Now, this one might be a little bit personal, but everybody might see. And then this one is usually catered towards the Pakistani or Indian foreigners out in Thailand. But the herbal shop scam, imagine you're just enjoying your day, you're walking around, and then you're approached by someone who's a little friendly, and then they start chatting to you about your looks and mention maybe a wrinkle or your hair is thinning, and all it takes is this magical ingredient and maybe a concoction that they claim you can get from your local 7-Eleven. Now, while this might come to some of you guys as an exclusive herbal shop right around the corner, I've heard stories where even though you lived there in Thailand, this one can be a close call. So where unsuspecting travelers end up shelling out thousands of baht for a concoction that's more hype than help, right? The trick here is simple. If you're a stranger trying to fix your insecurities with a quick fix remedy, it's usually a scam. But if you stay polite, smile, and keep walking, well, your self-worth is priceless. And on top of that, if you know a little Thai, and I'm going to teach you a little Thai, it tends to make them less inclined to target you. So if you say, when they say, hello, my friend, or hello, brother, because that's usually what you get if you're like me, of a brown tone. You get, oh, brother, come here. You say, oh, Swati Kap, and let them know that you know a little Thai and you're not ready to play that, all right? Because ain't no side street remedy worth that kind of cash. And if you're being approached by a friendly herbal expert on the street, listen, shut it down as fast as possible. Don't fall for the foolishness. And if you're in the market for looking for that, just know that you can talk to somebody that's a local Thai person and ask them where an herbal shop or something like that may be. But absolutely, before you walk in, know what you are looking for so you aren't ripped off. And then that way you can also negotiate the price, right? All right, now, before I get too deep into this next scam, I want to talk quickly about something that really isn't a scam, but is super important to your health and travel. That's travel insurance. So I'm talking about Safety Wing. That's the travel insurance that's been my travel buddy for the past few trips that I've taken, but it also helps you whether it's a certain medical emergency or a trip interruption or even lost luggage. Safety Wings got you covered in 180 countries, no less. So it's a no-brainer when you're on the road, and honestly, peace of mind is everything, because your typical insurance won't usually work overseas unless you've informed them in ahead of time and they've given you a special card. But check out the link in the description, because I'm going to be linking the wing down in the description. But special plans start as low as special plans starting as low as $65 for a month. Okay, guys. So if you got insurance stories or tips of your own, please hit up those comments, because I'm also going to be making sure that you guys know the best hospital that you can go to while you're traveling into Thailand, because I made sure that, one thing I hadn't seen in content is where can I go to get healthcare service? And a lot of you folks just go to a random clinic, and I think you deserve a lot more care, especially if you're from outside the country and it's your first time traveling abroad, okay? So one of the biggest ones, and if you've seen my live video with your boy Trey Bad, shout out to Trey. Shout out Trey and Jasmine, actually, the lovely couple of Trey Bad TV that are doing it down in Pattaya and are showing you guys how you can live the life you want to. Now, if you guys want multiple ladies, you should hit up his channel, because he teaches you how you can do it, not in the conventional means, but he shows you how he's living it and how he's doing it. But next is something I get, like I said, me and Trey was out here doing, but the jet ski scam, you guys. So picture yourself wanting to go take a little travel and see the most beautiful beaches of Thailand. You get excited to hit the waves on a jet ski. And I was super excited, because when I hit up Thailand, I had the opportunity to see the Jet Ski World Cup. I almost competed in it, but then I found out that you had to buy your own jet ski. Not only buy your own jet ski, you had to get a team to maintain it. So I opted out of it, but I did get some highlight videos, and you're going to see those in a second. But now you're on your way back and you're hit with accusations of damages and charges. So now you went to rent out a jet ski, and then after having an amazing time out on the water, you're hit with accusations of damage that you never caused. Suddenly, what should have been an exhilarating ride turns into a stressful showdown. So here's my tip. Always, 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 before you get on any jet ski, document your ride. Take video of the jet ski before you take off. Focus on any scratches or dents so that you have proof that anything and everything was fine when you rented it. This little step can save you a headache and a hefty bill later on, especially if they already have broken down ones. This is something I can attest to, where now I didn't get scammed or anything, but me and Trey, we happened to get the Fugazi jet skis. Now, they weren't not fast, but they didn't have what they have is a little pocket for you to close down everything. So me and him, we had all our electronics out there, and I was stressed to death that everything was going to get wet. Sadly, one of my things did get wet, but it wasn't because of the opening, but it was because of all the splashing that was going on. But if you ever had a close call with a rental, let me know down in those comments. Don't forget to like this tip and save yourself some cash. So my number 6 scam that's usually out there is the beggars and the fake charities. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't people in poverty out in Thailand, but now let's address something that might tug your heartstrings a little bit, because the beggar or fake charity scam is full force down in Thailand. Now, you're not going to see that many, but I know a lot of you guys can be generous souls, and while it's important to help those in need, sometimes you come across situations where you're actually being targeted by individuals. So there are often a lot of these people sitting down accompanied by children who aren't really in need, because at the end of the night, once they're done with all of that, they will pick up and get on a motorbike and take their ass right on home. There's none of these people that, there's a majority of them that you will not see after the sun goes down. So this is where it can be tricky, because it's hard to tell who's genuinely in need of help. But my advice is use your best judgment. If something feels off, or if the approach seems rehearsed, it might be best to politely just decline and research legitimate charities later. Or even if you want to, you can tap out to my boys in the Thailand crew, and I will link them down in the description box. But they go out and do charity drives every quarter, so that's about every 3 months. And remember, giving out your hard-earned money to a scam not only hurts you, but detract those, it detracts from those who truly need the support. Okay, guys? So if you're feeling like you got any value from this video, please share this video with friends who plan on traveling to Thailand so they aren't caught off guard by these emotional con artists. All right. And let's keep each other safe and informed. Number 7. Negotiation, right? Now, here's one of my favorite parts about traveling to Thailand or traveling abroad, something that we don't do here in the States, but the art of negotiation. Bargaining is just accepted there, okay? It's actually a part of the culture, okay? So whether you're at whether you're shopping at a local mart or paying for a service, you don't need to be afraid to ask for a discount, because trust me, whenever you step outside the country, you need to know how to haggle. And that's something that is forgotten here, because once it's a set price, you're typically thought to pay it. And I'm not telling you not to be generous and tip and things like that, but trust me, negotiation can save you tons of money, especially here. Especially if you're staying for an extended stay or you're looking to become a resident yourself. Okay, you're gonna need to know A, the local prices, and B, you don't want to get ripped off. But some places, they have different prices for the area that they're in. So here's a pro tip. When you're in the heat of a negotiation, throw in this little gem in Thai. Korlat Norde Mai Kap. Okay? So Korlat Norde Mai Kap means, can you give me a discount, please? And I say kap because that's what men say. And for the ladies, you say Korlat Norde Mai Ka. Okay? It's simple, polite, because at the end you're saying please and thank you. It's simple, polite, and effective. Using a bit of local language not only shows respect, it can also win you a little extra savings and the heart of the people that you're talking to. And I'm thinking about putting out a video of just sayings you can say out in Thailand. So if you guys want to hear that, please let me know down in those comments. But remember, it's always respectful to end your conversation with a nice smile and walk away, even if you don't get a fair deal, because guess what? There's always another vendor, there's always another shop, and they typically have what you want right around the corner. So if you're having any negotiation wars or any little arguments, take a step, walk back. You can even come back and tell them that you got a better deal somewhere else. But again, having found that little Thai phrase can be useful and gives you a thumbs up. So let's keep those savings rolling, and let's keep rolling with this content. So number 8, now I stayed in a bunch of places, both hotels, condos, but what I did see is with the Airbnb deposit, they actually had this scam for electricity, right? Now, I didn't get got for it because I had, gotten myself acclimated enough with the Thai people that I could ask a lovely Thai lady to translate and tell me whether this was a little off or not. So this one is a sneaky one, because when you're really traveling on a budget, if you're not careful, I can imagine booking what looks like the perfect apartment on Airbnb, only to discover later that there's a little extra, more than a deposit, an outrageous electrical fee tacked on at the end of your stay. Now, I've seen it happen time and time again, only here on YouTube. The people I've met, they happen to stay in reputable places, but sometimes there's an extra 5,000 baht or more, which is absolutely not cool, because just like here in the States, it ain't that much for electricity. So here's what you do. Read the fine print before you book. Ask for clarification on any additional fees. And if possible, get photos or a video walkthrough of the apartment's condition before arrival. This helps to ensure that you're not caught off guard by inflated charges when you check it out. If you ever experience unexpected fees, share your story, because I would love to know what it is that you found that you got by, so that way we can use this knowledge as power, just in case we can help someone else save a whole lot of baht. Okay. And just a little special recommendation for you all. I'm going to open up my phone here and I'm going to show you the app that I would use to get through all of this BS. And right here is the app in reference. Hold on, let me let you. Agoda, if you can see it right there. You get this Agoda app, and then that will help you to plan all of your trips. Now, if you've seen my YouTube stories, if you've seen my Instagram stories or any of the like, you will see when I went to 79 Club. 79 Club was in Koh Samui. Koh Samui, for those who are Thai out there. And that was absolutely lovely. I booked that through there. And I happened to actually get 2 hotels because I loved that hotel so much that the hotel I was going to transfer to, I said, F that, I'm staying here. Okay. Now, believe me, if you book there and you book rather ahead of time, it's rather cheap, because when you're paying right there at the hotel doorstep, I listened to some people and they paid way more, about 30 to 40% more than I paid while paying on the app. Okay, so Agoda is going to be the best go-to app there in Thailand to make sure that you guys are getting the best deal imaginable. And you can also book your excursions that I talked about in number 1 right there. And guess what? You get a hotel transfer. As long as you let your hotel know what the excursion is, they will book a taxi for you, so you don't have to be brought into any of those scamming areas, and they take good care of you. And if there's any hidden charge, the hotel will let you know very upfront as soon as you're telling them the place that you're going. It happened to me in one place, but that was only because it was a national park. When I went to the Grand Royal Palace, the palace has a charge, and I was just happy to know that before I got there. So last on our list, guys, is this little warning about traffic stops. Now, per se, this isn't a scam, but this is how they try to get us foreigners, or as they would say out in Thailand, the phalang, because you'll hear that. But this is something you should be prepared for, especially if you're riding the motorbike taxis, right? So motorbikes are one of the more common ways that you're going to be able to travel there in Thailand. And it's honestly the fastest way to get anywhere, but they do play with your life a little bit. And I'll put some video of that right now. But it's not uncommon to be pulled over by the police if you are a foreigner. Now, you might feel a little on edge, but here's how the drill works, right? You always want to keep a copy, not the actuality, because this is where you can kind of get caught up, but keep a clear photo of your passport and the visa stamp on your phone, because not only are they going to try to stop you for not having a helmet on, because that's the main thing they'll stop you for, but then they want to make sure that you're saying that you are who you are. So if you're pulled over, stay calm, be respectable. Again, use that line that I told you before, Swadi cop, so that way they feel like, okay, well, maybe he's not just an a-hole from another country who doesn't know anything. Politely show them your documents. It only usually takes about 30 seconds if you're prepared. And then you'll be back on the road in absolutely no time, because again, they're going to try to stop you because you don't have a helmet on, but knowing the regulations and knowing that you're new to the country will help you a lot, especially if you have those documents ready. So just remember, being stopped doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It's just something that they typically can get a good, quick 500 to 1,000 baht up out of you by, stopping you and arresting you and then slowing you down. Okay. So it just means that they're doing their routine check. And if this can help you guys, I would love to hear down in the comments anybody that this has happened to, and share any advice with our travel crew so that way we know any other way we can get around it. All right. So, all right, guys, this is a wrap for this one. I hope that you all enjoyed today's episode and a deep dive into the scams that you need to watch out for while traveling into Thailand 2025. I've got you covered on everything from dodging taxi scams and tuk-tuk traps, negotiating at the local store, and avoiding sneaky extra fees. So I hope these tips help you to travel smarter, save money, and enjoy every moment of your trip to Thailand. So before you go, do me this one favor. It's absolutely free to you. Hit that like button and smash the subscribe button if you can. Drop down in those comments. Tell me about your travel experiences or any other scams that you might have faced so that we can share and help each other in our travels with confidence. All right, guys? And hey, if you're ready to take your travel game to the next level, check out my last episode, How to Fly for Free. And guess what? I just came out with an ebook for that exact same thing, giving you all the details and even more insider secrets and tips to help you live the life that you want while seeing the world the way you want it. All right. So if you want to, you can download the link. It's going to be down in the description box. And as always, guys, I want you to live as long as you want, never want as long as you live, and always squeeze the best juice out of life. All right. So thank you for tuning in. Stay safe, keep adventurous, keep the spirit alive, and always avoid them scams. Until next time, peace.